All right, so for this semester, for this 8221 semester, I'm going to develop a full stack application called My Nelayan. So Nelayan is a fisherman, and Ma is a Malaysia, so Malaysian fisherman. So this application basically to cater Malaysian fishermen, but not just like for any fisherman, but we're going to focus more on just a small scale fishermen that basically to help them to sell their fish or whatever that they manage to capture quickly, directly to potential buyer without having to go through middlemen. So this is basically just to increase or to improve um, their livelihood. I've come up with a few user requirements here. So this is basically just a very quick or simple user requirement generated. So the first thing that I'm going to look here is in terms of the inventory management. So which is whatever that they've captured during the day or whatever they haven't yet sell. So that is basically inventory, real-time inventory management. So whatever they manage to capture, so we can just they can just update the stock directly to the database. Okay, so real time. Real time here can be defined as because there are many definition of real time. So here in terms of real time, we need to understand that fishermen when they capture, when they go out to sea or locations, they look for fish. Sometimes the internet is not that very good. Sometimes it can be very difficult for them to connect to the internet. So we need to have a method or a synchronization method that allow them to insert data into database even in low speed internet, or even if there's no internet at all, how they can just use the application and the application will automatically update the database when the internet is available. So that's basically the first one. So real-time inventory management. The second requirement that I'm looking here is location-based selling, means that the fishermen, whenever they of course they capture something, they catch, it is based on their location. They cannot sell abroad, definitely, because fish they easily goes bad. They need to sell the fish as fast as possible. So any buyer who are nearby, who are willing to go to their location to buy the fish, they can directly go there. Okay, so we need a location-based selling, so that fishermen can sell their catch as soon as possible. So that's the second thing. So we need to use location-based service. The third requirement here is online marketplace. So online marketplace is basically where potential buyer can search for fishes that they are looking for. So we have online marketplace that people can search, okay, and cutting out intermediaries and increasing the profit margin for the fisherman. Okay, push notification. So this is also another features that we can introduce the application that can send push notification if any potential buyer would like to buy or maybe request. Okay, they have a request. So to get certain type of fish, certain type of catch, so the fisherman can look for it or can help to sell their catch quickly. Quality control here, we can implement like rating service, the quality of the fish, quality of the service provided by fishermen, quality of the buyer. So this is basically just a quality control that we can introduce to the application. So we can implement some kind of a rating system. Payment processing. This is integrate with the payment processing system to allow buyer to make purchase directly through the app making the transaction process more efficient. So this is also another, this is quite important in any application, because this is where transaction involved with the application. So we need to figure out how effectively the payment is going to be implemented through the system. Okay, so it can be quite difficult, or we can just use existing systems available to implement payment. And this is also where our application also can make money. Okay, so through the processing fee, through the service fee. So this is basically quite important. And finally, analytics. So we can provide report, ethical data. So this basically allow for fishermen to look into sales trend, best selling, so that they can just focus more on that particular catch, type of fish, type of catch, so they can just improve their business through this. So this is basically the idea for my Nelayan. So again, Nelayan is a fisherman in Malay. For those who are not familiar with Malay, my Nelayan, this is an application to help fishermen or small scale fishermen to sell their catch. All right, so now we have our requirements for the application, and this is basically, I hope I can implement everything, all of these requirements throughout this semester. But I'm going to use MyPasa because the concept here is basically the same through MyPasa application. The design, the process flow, and everything is going to be the same, except that it's um, for a different type of purpose requirements. All right. Okay, so those are the requirements up there. The application design is going to be a little bit the same with MyPasa. Maybe some changes here and there, but we're going to go through that later. Okay, so requirement for this, I hope you already have this in the system, in your computer. So you need your backend service, you need your database and everything prepared and ready. XAMPP, okay, I hope you already installed XAMPP. So you need to make sure that your XAMPP service, where's my XAMPP? Sometimes XAMPP is not properly, we have XAMPP here, I think. Or not. No, not yet. um, on my other PC. So I haven't got yet installed XAMPP on this PC. So maybe I can quickly do that. Let me just quickly download XAMPP, and I thought I already have this installed. Okay, so download the installer. Okay, so do the installation. So this one for 64-bit. And download XAMPP installer and install. All right, so let it download, and then we continue with the requirement. So since we're going to use our own RESTful service, our own backend and database, which is a full stack implementation, here I did not use, I'm not going to use any what we call as database, or it's not real-time database, but database such as Firebase, AWS, which in a way it can be easier for you to implement, because you don't have to think much about the back-end service, but you don't get the experience how to create your own API, how to develop your own API registration, login, loading all the data from database. So those are the experience that you need to get from this subject. All right. So let it download. So it's quite slow bit. So leave it there. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is basically to create the application. Okay, so you can give a command here to create application. So you can use your command prompt and then go to the our semester is A222, right? It's not A221. 221 is last semester, so A222. Right, so this is going to be the project application directory. So you can give you a command, flutter create, and then RG, and your package name, com. Let's say I'm going to use com.uum, and your application name. So I'm going to give it like my Nelayan. All right. So go into your project directory. So here I put it everything into Flutter A222. So much easier later on for me to push to my GitHub. So the project is under my Nelayan folder. So hit enter and wait. All right, done. So you can just check for it. So you can see there's a my Nelayan there. So you can just go to the sorry, cd my Nelayan, and then you can just put and run your Visual Studio Code from. That's supposed to be, sorry, it's not there. It's supposed to be just code. Just code. Okay. Oops. It's supposed to be enter inside, not the minor lion. Automatic. There. There you go. All right. Okay, so now we are in the project directory. So we have our lib main.dart here. And then we have our pubspec YAML. If you don't want to develop for Linux, Mac, web, and Windows, you can just delete them. Okay, much easier that way. And we can start with our application. So as you can see here, because I use the command flutter create, so basically give me everything. But actually, I just want to have a very simple application structure. So the theme data, so I'm going to take the themes data so that I don't have to, because themes, when you use the main app, so the themes basically is missing from there. So there. So use main app, you can remove everything. You can use the basic code here, or you can use this one. Okay, this one comes with theme data. So there are two actually if you use main app. Okay, from the snippet. Okay, from the snippet. So there are this one or this one. So if you want to make, if you want to choose the second one, you need to create your stateful my homepage. So you can choose the second one here because it came with a theme data, much easier for you later on to implement themes. But you don't have my homepage. But nevertheless, you don't have to worry much because we're going to create our first screen here, which is splash screen. So I'm going to call screen for this application, not page. Okay, sometimes you get confused. So we just I'm going to use screen for this application. All right, so now you can see that my home page is missing. There's no class for my home page through the main app. And also you can just straight away create. Okay, so usually whenever you have multiple, you're going to develop a complete application, might as well you start to create what we call as project directory or application directory. So I'm going to start with splash screen. Okay, so usually what I did is just to create just a different file for every page. So here we call splash screen dot. So just create new file here and an empty file. So you can use you can use a stateful widget to create the class. It is a stateful widget. give it a name. This is a splash screen, right? So this means that this class is going to handle all the splash screen operation. And definitely you need to import a material. So here I'm going to use a material. And by the way, you need to check your main again. So now you have your splash screen and you want your main to go to the splash screen or to use splash screen as your default screen. Okay. So the class name here is a splash screen. All you have to do now just instead of my home page, so straight away use a splash screen and import splash screen into this class. So this is a constant, so just is constant for now. And there you go. All right, so now you have your splash screen and this is your splash screen. But you need to be aware that this stateful widget return a container. So we don't want to return on container, or unless you want to build custom screen, you can use container and build your UI based on that. But here we're going to use a scaffold, the default UI here. For splash screen, usually we go for full screen. Okay, so definitely we don't want app bar. And we're going to use straight away to body. And here, what we need now, just an empty page. You can use the example that I've given to you before. For a splash screen, which I already described through the previous application. But here I'm going to use a little bit different. Okay, a little bit different in terms of the design. So the body here, okay, for a splash screen. For a splash screen, we can have like a simple splash screen like this. Just straight away go to the application. So I'm going to skip all this for now. I'm going to go back here, back to this after this. So I'm going to work on this. So you can go for a simple splash screen as this, the one that I've used before, or we can just use like an image, a full screen image with text. Also can, right? So if you want to use this type of a splash screen with a full screen image, you can use what we call as a stack widget. Okay, a stack widget. So a stack widget basically allow you to stack widget on top of each other. So let me just implement a simple stack. So the whole UI now handled by stack. So for stack, this is basically the same with columns, except that stack, all its children is stacked on top of each other. All right, select children, and here where we can put our design. But for stack, you need to define a few other parameters such as alignment, as I mentioned here. So here I set alignment, everything set to center so that you can get everything to center. All right. And for the children here, I use, if you look at here, for children, there's a container for image, padding. So the container here, padding, columns, image. All right, so this is a container there. Okay, there's a container inside here, so we can just create a container inside. Okay, so the container basically we contain the image. Okay, and then we have paddings, columns. So we start with just an image first. Start with the container image. All right, so the container image here contain what we call as a box decoration. Okay, so I'm going to take all the parameter for the container. This. Okay, this is the container here. So these are all the parameter inside the container. Okay, press enter. All right. But as you can see here, we don't have yet the image, a set image for the application, which is will be in this directory, asset images splash.jpg, and we don't have yet the image. And of course, you need to create a folder for it. So create new folder, assets, and then inside asset, create new folder again, which is images. and we're going to put everything in, all the image inside here for the application to use. But you need to register the application directory, the image directory through your PubSpec YAML, and make sure that you turn on this asset. Okay, turn on this asset and turn on one of the parameter here. Make sure that this under S. Since our main folder here called assets, images, and we want to take all, so we can just remove this. Okay, so all our application assets is going to be under this as images. All right, save. So make sure that you don't have yet, because here you can see, oh, sorry, assets, images. Oh, sorry, this one is, it's not supposed to be under library, so I need to back. Rebuild in File Explorer. So mistake in terms of the directory that I'm supposed to put, supposed to be in the root directory, supposed to be here. Okay, supposed to be here, not inside library. So just be careful on that. Right, so one more time, save. You shouldn't have the problem with your asset anymore. Okay, so this means that your asset is working. Your asset now can accept images. All right, but we don't have yet this splash image. So we need to create the image first. Okay, so as you can see here, let me just look for the image. I've talked about the image, the size of the image that, okay, here. We're going to use a background image for the application for the splash page. So create an image with this size, and then you can use PNG or JPEG here because we're going to use a full screen. Should be no problem for the image size. With image with pixel width and 1440, but it's not in this exact, but yeah, you get the idea. Just we want to get the width and the height of the image just right. Okay, so I'm going to look over the internet. Actually, you need to, it's not yet there. Okay, you need, either you can just take the picture on your own. Okay, you can just go somewhere like in Kuala Perlis and look for a nice picture, take a picture near boat, fisherman boat, use your own picture. But since here we are learning, just I'm going to take the image from the internet straight away. So yes, fisherman boat. Look for the image. Here's something that indicate that it's a fisherman boat. Anything that look nice. Nothing that look nice. I'm looking for this kind of image, but in the water. I can use, let me take a look first. Nothing much in terms of, but this one nice, but it's already, nothing. This one also, just Malaysian. I just want to have small. So this one is okay, but this one seems to be okay, but the size can be a little bit. All right, but again, you need to check the copyright of the image. But here for learning purposes only, so I just want to take one image. Anything that look nice, is looking good. This one is nice, but maybe later I'm going to take the picture on my own and use this. All right, so I'm going to take this image and I'm going to create the image using Photoshop and do some tweaking here and there, and then we're going to use it. Okay, so now we have an image. So make sure the size of image, if you can, reduce the size of the image because we don't want to end up with a large asset. So 800 kilobyte is still considered as large. We can further reduce the size to 400 kilobyte. So that's basically something that we need to do more, okay, in terms of the image size. So this is our splash screen page. So splash is not JPG, so we use PNG here. All right, so that's basically the image for the application. So I'm going to close that. No, close that also. So we have a container inside our stack. So we have container there. And then next we have padding at the bottom down here. So this padding basically just for the wording and the circular progress indicator and also versioning. So I'm going to take the whole padding here and put it into our stack. Okay. So this is not my parser, this is my Nelayan. This version with circular progress indicator. All right, save. Okay, so now I can test actually, just if you want to look how you want to see how it look like. So let's run our emulator first and let's see the result, how the splash screen will look like in the application. Okay, now you can see that this is our splash screen. So if you think that the text here is not, so one thing that you need to understand when you use full size image, the image for the where you can see here is basically you cannot probably see the text here because the background is quite dark. So here's okay. So you might want to change this. So it's quite easy. If you may, you can just change your Nelayan text color white. Okay, so Nelayan is now white, and also my version also the same. So if you think that, so this version 0.1, you don't like the blue color there, so you might want to change your themes, the application themes. Okay, like blue is not, it's not the color that you want to use for this application. You might need to decide a different color. Okay, so let's say try to go for orange. Okay, it's up to you how you want to define this. All right. Okay, maybe different. The purple, green, gray, indigo. It was indigo color. Indigo is that color. It's a blue navy. It's blue, gray, brown, deep orange, deep purple, green, indigo, orange, purple, red. Let's try red. So those are red. Okay. So, but yeah, this is basically where your designer teams come in. They are the one should decide on this. Okay. All right, done on that. Okay, so it's very simple and basically allow you to have um, what we call a splash screen, but you have to aware that the splash screen, if you turn you turn this side here, okay, this is basically how your splash screen is going to look like. Okay, so you have to test with a different screen size. So in this case, it seems to be okay. So it seems to be working for different screen size, or maybe you want to lock the screen so that your applications only run in certain orientation. So that's basically just to give you an idea whenever you decide to have your application happened to the other way around actually. Supposed to be this side. Yeah. All right. So now we have our splash screen. Um, One thing that you need to decide, because the application that we have here, we decided not to have what we call as a login wall. Okay. So what I mean by login wall here, login wall, is that the application will allow user to use certain feature of the application, allow them to access the application with certain limitation. Okay, and the user for this application also can be into two category, buyer and also seller. Okay, so buyer and seller, they are the same. So there's no requirement for those who like to become fishermen. In the case of this application, I know that there's a requirement if you want to go out to the sea and then catch fish, your boat you need to license, but we're not catering on that. We are not focusing on that. We are focusing more on just a small scale fisherman. Can be either fishermen on they capture their cash through lake or river. Just a small scale fisherman would like to sell whatever they captured. So those are the people that we are looking for, so that we are not limiting. Okay, we are not limiting the application. So means that I myself can become buyer, and I also can become fisherman. Okay, if I'm doing this for a hobby, I can just go out and then capture something, and then I can just put it into this application. If anyone would like to buy this, they can. Okay, so that's the idea for this application. So we're not limiting in terms of that. But for this, for now, I'm going to use the login wall, so that user will, when they run the application, it will go to the login and then registration. So we're going to cater that first. We're going to work on that first, and later we're going to remove the login wall. Okay, so we're going to remove the login wall. We're going to do automatic login. We're going to do, or to detect if there's no internet connection, allow for user to still log in, access the data, but that for later. So we're going to start with simple operation, simple process, which is login. All right, login and registration. And usually, there are many methods of implementing that. If for this application, for example, if you want to implement like a modern application, so if this is the first time that user use the application, you can implement like a guided registration. Ask them to register with the application first, so you can have like navigation to move from um, registration, or guide them in terms of a registration process. Okay, but here I'm not going to do that, because we're going to deal with a lot of pages, a lot of screens. So I'm going to go for just a simple screen, which contain all the registration and login information. So for now, from this splash screen, we're going to move on to the login screen. I'm going to put this away for now, and that works with that. All right, so here you can see that we have our init state. So init state should be um, under stateful widget. So this is our stateful widget, and then this is our state class, and then we can put it into here. Okay, so we have ourselves an init state, and init state will require super dot init state. Okay, for a state class. So your init state will contain this timer. Okay, so this timer basically the same with the previous example. Basically implement time base. within 3 seconds, within 5 seconds, we'll push or navigate to the other screen. Okay. So here I'm going to create another screen. And usually, for us to plan the design or the development of the application. So usually the way that I do it is I'm going to create new folder inside the lib folder. Okay. The new folder here is going to handle all the application screens. Okay. So I'm going to create new folder inside lib folder, put it there. Give it a name screens. Okay. So this folder now is going to handle all the application screen except for splash and main screen, or maybe main screen, splash screen also we can put it inside screen. Okay, so I'm going to create a screen folder, and this screen folder basically will contain most of the screens UI design. Okay, so here I'm going to create the first screen. As you can see here, the first screen that I put here is a main page. So the main page that I have here, let me just show you. Okay, this is the main screen here. Main screen that I use here is a bottom navigation. Let me just check first. Okay, here I go straight to the main screen, and decided to use that straight to the registration. Okay, next we have registration page here. All right, so maybe we can just straight go to the main screen. Okay, so the main screen here means that this is basically the main screen of the application. So we just straight go there. All right, so I'm going to create our main screen inside here. So create the class main screen dot dot. All right, main screen dot dot. So inside the main screen dot dot is an empty screen, empty page. So use a stateful. So this is a main screen class, and then import material, and here our scaffold. All right, so our scaffold, and just an empty scaffold. Just be done with it. So we want to go from splash screen to that, so we can just straight away use our timer up here that we already have defined. Where's the timer? So here the timer now. So I'm going to take this timer and the whole code for the timer, put it into this init state. And definitely you need to import timer through the .async task. And not the main page, we import main screen. Okay. So now you can see that the main screen import into the application. So save the file. All right, so since this is a new class, the new class haven't yet registered, and we need to restart the application. Okay, within 3 seconds, you're going to end up with a main screen. It's just an empty screen. Okay, so now we have our main screen ready, our splash screen ready. However, there's more things can be done through splash screen, but that's for later. But for now, we just want to settle for a main screen. Okay, we want to settle for a main screen, and this is where we want to design the what we call as the home page. Okay, we call it home page or home screen or main screen. So whatever the names that you want to use, it is basically the root of your interface, the root of your application. Okay, so it means that whenever user use the application, this is the home. Okay, they will always can go back to the home page of the application. Okay, you can give it any names. You can give it main screen. You can give it a home page. You can give it whatever the names. But usually I give it the names main screen. This is my method. All right. All right. So if you want to, you can go ahead and import a Google font into dependencies and use or apply the font through team data. For this example, I use Anaheim text team, and it will basically apply the font into your application. That can be a little bit nice. You can see that the font, it's quite different. All right, it's quite different look and feel to your application. Like having a different type of font can be quite beneficial in terms of look and feel of the application. All right. So, but I'm going to leave it there for now. So I'm going to straight away go to the main page design or the main screen design. Okay. All right. So for the main screen design, there are there are two main design philosophy or methods here. So either you can use bottom navigation or tablet menu type of design like this. Okay. So which means that your menu basically available at the bottom, or sometimes they put at the top, at the bottom. So a tablet menu, or you can use a much simpler method, which is the slider. Okay, slider drawer. Okay, so which is a simpler method of doing this. If you want to use tablet, you can use tablet, but you need to define your tab. Okay, so tab or slider, that's up to the the designer of the application. For the selections, if you choose to have or maybe you can just mix between both. Okay, you can mix between the slider and also tablet. It's also okay. Like your Facebook application also doing the same. There's a tablet navigation. There's a slider navigation. It's allow for your application to move from one page to the other or one screen to the other. Okay, but for this application, so depends on if you have many sub screens. You might want to choose to use slider. Okay, because slider you can have multiple menu here, multiple menu here at the bottom. But if you have small number of menu, you can choose to have this kind of bottom tab navigation type of menu. All right. So I haven't yet. Maybe I'm going to start with is, let me just check on this. Tablet navigation also should be okay. Bottom navigation also okay. Last semester I choose to use slider. Okay, slide from the left. Maybe this semester I'm going to use bottom navigation. Okay, for this semester. So, but there's a pro and con of using either. Okay, for bottom navigation or top navigation, easier for user to access the menu because they can just click on this, click on the tab, and then they can access the interface. Okay, by having what we call as a always on or always visible navigation menu. But for the slider here, user will have to click on this, what we call as a hamburger menu. Okay, this hamburger menu to reveal the menu. So maybe this semester I'm going to use this method. Okay, so it means that user will have the bottom navigation, and we can just work from, we can have from there. Okay, so for bottoms, we can have fisherman, buyer, or maybe we can have a fisherman. Sorry, turn on. Okay, the one thing that you need to decide before proceed is that we need to decide either to use Malay language or English language or what language that we want to use for the application. But for the decision here, later we can use what we call as a preference to set for the language. Okay, change the language for the application by using the internalization, internalize. Okay, which means that our application we can set through profile what language that we want to use through the internalization, we can internalize, and we can automatically set the application to use a different language. But for now, I'm not going to use that yet. I'm going to use English for now. Okay, I'm going to use English for the application for the application title here. You can use buyer, seller. Because if you want to use Malay, later on you're going to define this as pembeli, penjual, dan juga profil. Okay, so we can do that later. We can do the language things later. Okay, but for now I'm going to stick with Malay, with English. Even though our potential user or the user of this application will be mostly fishermen, nelayan. Okay, so for nelayan, most of them they might comfortable using Malay language only. So our potential user, we have to define them first. Okay. All right. So the navigation bar is there. Maybe later on I'm going to pull this out and then make it as a general UI, because we're going to share this through multiple classes. Okay, so but for now I'm going to stick with one menu, so just one menu only. All right. Okay, so here you can see there's an on tab here, which means that when we click on this, we want to implement on tab operation. So we don't have that. So the on-tab operation can be implemented as part of bottom navigation bar, but we don't have on-tab. The on-tab is not there. It's supposed to be here. Okay. So on-tab, so there's a method there. So create method on-tab, which is available at the bottom down here. So when we click any of the tab here, we need the tab to be respond, and then we need to create multiple class for each of the tab. So the tab here basically defined through init state. We need to create the 3 tabs, okay, because it basically corresponds to all these 3 tabs: tab 1, tab 2, and tab 3. Okay. All right. So we need to do some tab definition. So the tab definition, who's actually at where. So here I'm going to define this into our class. There's a 3 tabs. So the 3 tabs defined through classes here. Okay, and then the index. Okay, we haven't yet used this. So there are 3 tabs, 3 index. At the moment, this is index 0. Main screen, secondary screen, and third screen. So that one we need to define now. All right. So I'm going to use the same class, but the same class later I'm going to change the name. Main screen, second screen, third screen, or tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. That's basically just the naming. So if you want to change the name of the class, it should be the same. But here I'm going to give it the names, main screen, second screen dot dot. This corresponds to second tab. And the third one is third screen, or profile screen. Is much clearer into now. But yeah, I'm going to settle for this for now. So we have main screen, secondary, and third screen. So the main screen basically handle the first tab. The second screen basically handle the seller tab, and the third screen basically will handle the profile tab. So you can give it names like buyer tab, seller tab, or profile tab. So that's also okay. All right. So the more much better names here, I think it's much better to decide for now. Instead of a main screen, so I'm going to give it the names of buyer tab screen. Okay, even though for now I give it the names main screen, so I'm going to stop for this for now. So this is main screen now instead of main screen, so I'm going to change this to seller. Okay, this is a seller tab instead of main screen, SellerTab screen. So if that happen, you need to change all this. Okay. So you need to change all these. All right, so that happened. So you might want to change the name of the rename your class. So this is a main screen, so no longer main screen. So I'm going to define this as a seller tab screen because it basically correspond to tab. We use tab navigation. So the second screen is for the, oh, sorry, this is not seller actually. This is buyer, right? This is buyer. The main screen is a buyer screen. So which is for anyone who like to buy. So this is seller tab. So don't worry about that. This is seller tab because we're going to use the same tab again, all over again. So the second one, I'm going to rename this is the buyer tab screen. And the third one is rename this to profile tab screen. Just naming. Okay, just naming. Don't just get confused on this. Just naming. All right. So now this is for seller, is buyer, and then we're going to end up with our main screen is the seller. Okay. So buyer tab screen. So this is where the seller should be landed on. So you can either you can just copy paste from all these and then just change the name. This is not seller. This is buyer. Okay, so just change the front of the class name here so that we don't get confused later on. Okay, we don't get confused later on. This is for buyer. Okay, so done for buyer. So buyer tab is index 0, seller tab is index 1, and profile tab. Okay, so the same again. This is for profile tab screen, and just change the class name here. All right, done. So profile is number 2, index. Okay, so you have buyer. This is the main index or the base main screen here. This is for buyer who like to post item, post their catch. Means that this is for fishermen. Okay, this is for fishermen. Sorry, this is for fishermen. Sorry. So might as well we just put it comment for fishermen for now. Green. Okay, so that we don't get confused. And this is buyer for buyer screen. Okay, profile. This is for profile screen. All right, just for us. Okay, so our splash screen here is going to basically move to not to the main screen now. Now it's going to move to to the buyer tab. Okay, it's going to move here. Buyer tab screen. So instead of that, we have this and then import the screen. Done. So better management here. So we have all the screens and then we can rerun back the application. Should be working now. But the navigation is not yet complete. Navigation between tabs. Okay, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So that one we need to work on later. All right, so we have this, and this. Okay, but the navigation is not there yet. Okay, it's not there. The navigation between tabs. Okay, tabs this and tab this. So to move from one tab to the other, because we have 1, 2, 3 tabs. Okay, we have the buyer tab, which is at the moment we are now, but we want to move to seller tab. Okay, seller tab is index 1 and profile tab is index 2. Index 0, index 1 and index 2. So we want to move from one tab to the other. So that's basically will require updates to our on tab here. Okay, you can see the on tab there. So the on tab there will be updated, but we need to implement the init state, the tab children. Okay, the tab children for each of our class here. So we start with SellerTab. We don't have yet init state for this, so might as well we need an init state. Okay, so we need an init state. So put it into our tabs. Okay, so all classes here will require init state, and BuyerTab also init state. All right. So now we have init state, and we need to update our tab children's. Okay, this is the tab children's inside the init state. So we start with BuyerTab. It contains array of classes. So we have 3. Okay, so we start with this is buyer, so BuyerTab screen. And the second one we have SellerTab screen. And the third one we have ProfileTab screen. All right, so we have these tab children, and we need to update on each of these. Sorry, we need to import them also. Don't forget about that. Every time we call this, we need to import. Okay, and then the third one, SellerTab, also the same. We update our init state. We need to make sure that we import them correctly. All right, done. Okay, now we have that, but we are unable yet to move to each of these tab screen. So that's one more item that we need to add, which is the on tab action. Okay, so the on tab action will set its current index. So we need to get the on tab action updated for each of the class above. So that what I'm saying here is that tab navigation can be a little bit difficult to implement. But yeah, it does work. So update our on tab here, which is the current index. Our current index is not final, it's supposed to be not final. Okay, so this one should be value. All right, so this is our index now. Update every one of them. Okay, so current index no longer final, and BuyerTab is also the same. Update them. Oops, sorry, this one also the same. So we is save on this. All right, current index no longer final value, so remove final from here. All right, save. All right, so now we should be able, but we need to save this and might need to restart the application just to test our navigation is working. So when you click on seller and profile, it does not yet work. There are more items needs. I think constant on tab. What else that we're missing here? Key tab children. Tab children already defined. I'm supposed to have defined. Should be before put it inside the class. It should work by now. Let me just check. Okay, so this is basically our profile tab now. So we have 3 tabs, buyer, profile, and seller. So each of the tab here now correspond to each of the tab at bottom down here. So we can move from one to the other, buyer, seller, and profile. So which basically indicate that this is basically where we are now. Oops, sorry. Okay, so these three screens now, basically is going to be our root navigation. Okay, this is our home navigation. So that user, when they first landed or they first log in or open the application, this is basically where they are. Okay, so in the buyer page, in the seller page, or in the profile page or screen. Okay, so that they can access each of the whatever that we provided here in this application. Okay, but there are things that we can further improve here, because here you can see our widget now repeatable, repeats. Okay, so the bottom navigations basically just a repeat the bottom navigation. So we can create what we call as a shared class, and this shared class now can be called, okay, from one class. So here we have three, so I'm going to divide that later on. We're going to use that. I'm going to take all this, put it into separate widgets or separate class, and then we can just use that and make it as a shared class. But for now, each of the screens here basically contain navigation, and we are going to deal with user navigation data that we want to load, and each of these basically allow us to move from one to the other. All right. Okay, so it's all the same. Each of these tab here basically the same. Each of the tab here correspond to each of the navigation. So if you want to add more, it's very simple. Like profile. Let's say I'm going to add one more tabs. All right. So I'm going to create new. That's a news. Okay. News tab screen dot dot. Okay, it's very simple. Just take whatever that we already have here. Okay, so this is news. Let's put it there. But since we have new one, so we can just add news tab. Oops, we haven't yet defined. So you just change the name first. This is profile. So it is actually news, not profile anymore. Change the class name. So now this is a news tab. So we're going to update, we're going to import profile, we're going to add one more class here. Okay, so we're definitely going to import the rest. Same, import that, and the rest also the same. Import that class. Profile tab also the same. Import that new tab. And update our bottom navigation here with one more widgets. So this one, news. Is there any newspaper? You can use newspaper, and then news. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and then update each of these with this bottom navigation. Also the same for news. Don't worry about the missing, whatever that missing there. Not yet. We haven't yet updated everything. Bottom navigation, we add one more. Is newspaper. It's not labeled as a profile as news. Profile tab also the same. So we have index, updated index. So this one is index 3 for news. Okay, so profile tab, buyer tabs also the same. We add one more. This is index 3 for news. News tab also the same. We add this one. If this is 3 for news, and we need to update this one for the news tab. This is index 3. This is news. Main title is news. And also the rest UI, we have icon profile. We haven't yet updated this. Okay, we need to take that also. The bottom navigation for news. Okay, we haven't yet updated that here. For news, What else? Check again. So our seller tab and index current value is 1. We have that. Seller current index. Okay, here we missing news. So index 3. This one for news. What else that we're missing here? Index, bottom navigation, buyer tabs also done. Buyer profile should be okay. So index, let me just try to restart that. We are missing, yeah, the icon is there, but the text is, the color is missing. You can see there's an icon there, news icon, profile, news, buyer. Oh, this one is seller profile. It's there. Oh, why is the color is missing? Okay, so that one can be, we can just look at it's there actually. Why is that the newspaper is not new newspaper shop? There's top navigation. So again one more time. It's missing the color. Is there any reason why it's missing color? Why do I need to provide with is there? Can see. But why is that I don't see, or else I need to set color here, but which I don't want. So color start back. It's SellerTab. Not sure what happened. It's supposed to be there. It's a SellerTab. Seems weird because of missing color suddenly. So we have all the tab. Each of the class is okay. This is current tab. NewsTab. Something in the NewsTab that I miss. We have it all there. The current is there. Then the background color, fixed color, selected color, fixed color. The color is not black. But kind of weird that currently that's not showing any color. You can see that. I need to reset the color. There's not a selected color, but the default color. This is fixed color. You can see there's fixed color there. It's there. It's there actually, but I don't want that. And the background color. Check for background color. It's not supposed to do that. Background color is just check background color. Color is, if I say color is white, it definitely is there. Well, I'm not sure why I didn't show that properly. What is missing there is some kind of animation is basically doing the hidden I see there's an animation that showing there. Maybe something happened with the bottom navigation that should require fix. I'm not quite sure if there's any show selectable layer type. Maybe there's a new update that I haven't yet realized when I use more than 4. But the bottom navigation bar items, more than 4. Let me check. But it's not an error. I don't have an error. Bottom navigation bar type. Let me just try use type fix. Maybe there's new that I haven't yet realized. Okay, new things that that introduced to the bottom navigation. Current index. Let me try type fix. There's a SellerTab. Oh yeah, there. There you go. I think because of this, they updated with the bottom navigation bar type. So if I want to have like fixed color here, so I can just remove now with this fixed color. Okay, or any other color that you want to use for the selected items. It's new. I'm not quite sure why they introduced that. Okay, now you can see that. Okay, so you have buyer, seller, profile, and news. Okay, so we have 3 tabs now. We have 3 classes, or 4 classes at least. So now we have news. So maybe I can stick with this new one. So maybe we can just add news for the application so that user can just watch or look into this as a news. Okay, we can add one more tabs here. So buyer, this is for buyer. They can look for or search for fish. Seller, this is where for fishermen to post their items. This is profile for user to change their profile information, and news for any news for the application to be presented here. So that's basically the overall idea for the application, and I hope you get the idea. All right. So I'm using the bottom navigation for this application, and maybe we can work from there. Later on, I'm going to remove all this. I'm going to take it out and put it into separate class, and then that class basically will handle all the bottom navigation, so that it is much easier for us. Okay, much easier for this to work with. Instead of having to change one by one, and later on we're going to create one class that handle bottom navigation, and all the navigation operation will be passed to this instead of having one. We need to update one by one. It's quite tedious process. Okay, but for now we work for this, and then we use this as our sample.